Okay, so now we're recording, and this is our week 2 meeting. So anyway, it sounds like you are more than anything else, maybe struggling with the volume of food that you are being required to eat and your subsequent enthusiasm for the task.
Oh yeah. I told Tim, I think so my stepdaughter turned 14 and we took her out to dinner last night. And I didn't order anything because my stepson ordered a 16-ounce steak, which is a lot for a 10-year-old little boy. Um, but I had some of Tim's, and it was funny because I was like, man, this is like I could just taste it. It's the perfect amount of macros because I don't know if any of you guys have been to the chef's table, but the chef is a great chef, so it was very. Can you? Are we frozen?
No, no, we see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just all of a sudden were present. But anyway, if you taste the marbling and stuff. But the person sitting next to me was asking, like, surprised that I didn't eat that much, and I just told her I was I'm having a really hard time because I'm getting mad at food. Tim knows because I'm like, God, I gotta eat this.
Yeah. So you're on 14 points now, is that right?
15.
15, okay. Um, So, Mary, do you have any thoughts before I say what my thought is?
Mm, 15 points. So times 3, that's 5. Um,
If she's not doing snacks.
yeah, initially, then, well, I don't like to snack, but anyway, so what I would try to do is keep my protein at 555 a meal, because I think that's a really important macro. And then you could reduce your fat and some of your carbohydrate, and your fat you could reduce it by, like, you obviously when you had that steak you knew it was very marbled,
Mm-hmm.
so you wouldn't put, if you had a salad you wouldn't add any dressing, or if you were eating at home and you had a steak that was very marbled, you just wouldn't add any more fat to your meal because you're probably getting that in it. And then, you could cut back a little bit on your carbs, maybe make your carbs 3 or 5 or 3 or 4, and just see how that works. But personally, I would keep my protein
Hi.
at
Yeah.
555, and maybe unless you're using a little oil to cook with, I wouldn't add any more fat. Maybe don't eat avocado. And see how that works for you. And then also the vegetables, you're probably having, like, if you're having broccoli or something, gosh, you must have to eat 2 cups at a serving. So, so you could just cut back on that and see how it goes, because it's just a real experiment for you.
Yeah.
Mike, what are your thoughts, Mike?
Well, yeah, I like the direction you're heading in, and that's fine tuning, maybe not giving up on points. I'm ready to give up on a point already, just to make it more comfortable. But also, I think that Mary's idea about keeping the proteins in there is a great idea. I like the idea of trimming out any of the, if you've got any starchy carbs in there, if you're doing any kind of rice or quinoa or
Right.
any pasta or anything like that, potato, you could cut back that volume a little bit and you're not really losing much. Um, I think one of the main things that gets people so full is the amount of fiber that they're eating. And you could look at how are you cooking your vegetables typically?
Um, we have roasted, boiled, and smoked.
Okay.
Ooh,
That
smoked vegetables.
Yeah,
you
most
just
of the vegetables I think lately you've been throwing on the grill, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Oh,
just faster. You just throw it all on there, the meat, the vegetables. Yeah.
so are
yeah.
they grilled or smoked actually?
Well, I mean, I
Um,
guess I guess
a
it's
little bit of both. I've been actually doing some like reverse like seared like meats, like
Mhm.
steaks and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and so they'll go on for at least like an hour or so at 220, and then I'll crank up my grill to like 700, and then we'll grill.
Okay.
Oh, dinner at their house all next week. Oh, that sounds fabulous. Oh, Oh, wow.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have ever had a smoked hamburger,
Mm-mm.
but there's actually a place in Tomball that specializes that. It's connected to the oh shoot, what's the name of the barbecue place in Tomball that's so good? Not the Truth, but the other one.
I've
Uh,
never been to it. I want to go to it, but I've never
yeah,
been
so
to it.
it's a good barbecue joint, but they have a satellite restaurant on Main Street in Tomball that specializes in fact, all they have is smoked burgers. And I was concerned. I thought, I don't know, Kevin, you could fill us in probably. I was thinking that they would come out a little drier than a seared burger with all this, the juices seared in or sealed in and all that. But it was very juicy. The smoked burger was very juicy. Have you ever tried that?
I feel like it's in our future or near future. You can just
Yeah.
because we have had I think you were the one that told us about putting the sweet potatoes on the grill or the
Yeah.
smoke or something like that.
Oh,
So,
they're so good.
mhm.
Well, we'll probably have smoked burgers tomorrow.
Kevin, have you done that before?
What, smoke a bird?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, really smoked it, not cooked it, but I mean, not roasted or broiled it, but actually seared it,
No.
actually smoked it.
we have to do the really lean meat because of Aiden, and it doesn't lend itself to smoking real well.
Okay.
But what we do is just and give it a smoky taste. What we'll do is we'll flash sear it on the gas grill, and then just pop it into the smoker while it's amping up for something else. So
Okay.
like when we do burgers like that is usually when we're going to be slow rolling, ribs or something afterwards.
Yeah. That makes sense, but I think that that the place in Tomball is actually smoking the whole thing, not searing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that sounds even better. The way you just described it sounds even better. So yeah, so Aaron, I think I want to make this a more pleasant experience for you right away.
Mhm.
So let's take the 15 down to 14. Or are you doing snacks or are you just doing 3 squares?
No, I am doing snacks. And, Mary, I'm glad that we're talking because she really made me think about something. I did notice at the beginning that I could pick and choose what was going to be my carb or my fat. Or maybe I read it in something that said if something's making you fuller, pick something else. Because to her point, I could do 2 cups of broccoli, or I'm sure there's another portion of a carb that I could have much less of.
Yeah.
And we've just been kind of doing the same thing. And even like you were asking about, the quinoa, the rice, black beans. So it's in a lot of our stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and that's a lot of volume. You know what? You guys know that the challenge for this week was to send a photo of a typical meal prep into the community, and Garcia did that. Did y'all see that?
I thought I did it too.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
You did.
Maybe I didn't send it. Maybe I didn't send it to the right place, but
I was
'cause I
saying,
can't really. I don't know this app very well.
I thought it was send it every day, and I failed at that.
No, it's just you can just send one example. So
And take a picture of your grill. Yes, that can be your prep. A
Yeah.
picture of your grill.
Sent
Yeah,
it
sure.
here.
The food on your
You
grill.
can't see that because of the light, can you? He
Uh-uh.
sent it in the texts, not in the community.
okay, let's take a look. Hold on.
Communities.
Well, I think
there's-
Mike got text, so maybe he can.
Oh man.
Where's
All
my?
right.
Hold on. I'm trying to share it. Wait.
I wonder if
And it has the grill, so it's like, you can just pull it up and show.
Yeah.
I'm taking
I'm
a
not
picture.
screwing around here. Oh, there we go. Okay.
You are getting this, and it's time stamped. So
Okay. So there's no bullshit here. Hold on. We're gonna, but first of all, before we leave this one, this is the community. This is like our own private Facebook group, kind of. And this is Elizabeth's meal prepping, and she's showing it as a meal prep by demonstrating that there's an identical 2 meals side by side. So anyway, Mary Mary tried the cauliflower and broccoli recipe already, or Brussels sprout recipe already, and raved about it. So that was really, really nice. So let's go to Tim. Hold on. Hey, Tim, we're gonna prove your compliance.
Oh, I already proved it. I put it on the community just now.
Oh, you just okay. But just to make sure I understand that if where you're doing it already, you said you did it in like the comments.
med-
Go up a little bit
Go up a
more.
little bit more.
Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. Wrong thing. Hold on. Okay, go up in here.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
And there.
And that's Tim's messages, right?
No, go up one
Yeah.
more.
Is it? I think it's.
What the heck?
You don't have it.
No. That's between you and I, isn't it?
Yeah, that's between you and me.
No, I put it on just messages. It just says messages.
I wonder where it's going.
But it's going. That's where the messages go.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, I would think it. So it's on the same service that you're getting the notifications on the meeting and all that, because that's what this is. This is our meeting.
That's all of that. I see all of that on here.
Oh, maybe go down a little.
Oh wait, is this it?
Yeah, maybe go down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's it.
Okay. There we go. Mary, to your point, all you gotta do is take a picture of the grill. If it'll load up for us.
Got some good internet.
Boy, I just had dinner, but my mouth is watering just looking at this. And you got the sweet potatoes. You got, what is that, avocado? What is this down here?
No, it's acorn squash.
So you actually make like spaghetti squash out of this?
No, with the we could, I guess. We make the spaghetti squash out of the spaghetti squash.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Roger that.
Take the acorn squash, and we eat it like acorn squash. No, I think we just mash it up. It's almost like a
Some
sweet
butter.
potato.
Yeah,
More fat.
this looks terrific. This looks really good. Yeah. So, okay, so I got that. Now, my request is to share it with the gang by putting it in the community thing. So you say you just dropped it in?
I think so.
Okay, let's take a look at that. Because we have more fun with it over here for sure.
Yeah, everybody can see it.
If it'll populate. Okay, and there we go.
I was trying to prove it. So
Okay, so you guys are on top of it. Ariane gave us this. This is not really a meal prep, but it sure looks great for for 40 degrees outside, 30 degrees outside, 30 something at least. And then she sent this photo, which looks fantastic. Mary, did you ever try this or just comment?
The lamb I haven't tried. I
Yeah.
like lamb, but I haven't tried it that way. I just have a leg of lamb is when I have it.
Very nice looking plate of food there. So anyway, it looks like you guys are all up to speed on that. And this is, Aaron, this is the reason I brought this up in our conversation is because this is kind of it's a real fast way to kind of get a read on where we are. And if you'll take a picture of your plates of food tomorrow or whenever it's convenient and share them on here, maybe some of us will definitely have comments. Like,
Okay.
If you cook this a different way, it's less voluminous, or this one maybe with less water, or this one, instead of having all of this, have 50% of this and 50% of these other things, something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay, that salad looks really good.
Okay.
But what Mike suggested was also very good in you could not eat as much starchy vegetable.
Yeah.
So if you enjoy acorn squash, not on the grill, I would. Maybe don't get all your points from that.
Mhm.
Maybe just get a point or two, so you have some of that, and then try to do your other carb with the really the less carb, the really green ones: cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, asparagus, all of those, all the peppers and stuff. Yeah. And just you'll figure out. You just have to experiment. It's completely different, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of food. But I mean,
Yeah.
it just goes to the point that I think as a whole, Americans should eat more. You know, there's just this advertising
these-
Well,
Of these
the,
kinds of foods, that's right.
the
what
right kind
Ameri-
of food. Too. I'm sorry, eat more
Right.
of the right stuff.
what
Correct.
Americans eat is extremely calorie dense. The foods that Americans tend towards are it may be less on the plate, less volume, less weight, but it's extremely calorie dense and extremely high typically on the glycemic index and extremely inflammatory. And those are the big issues that drive people towards obesity and type 2 diabetes and all that stuff.
Don't you think that's why though they'd say to eat, you know, I mean, shoot, this has I don't know how many calories we're eating, but it's definitely the closest I've been to a 2,000 calorie diet than I've been in years. So do you
Yeah.
think really all that bad food that you're talking about is the reason why people preach, you know, don't eat more than 1,200 calories or 1,000 calories?
Yeah.
Fatty?
Yeah.
Bad for you? I don't know.
Is there anything that you've cut out that you crave less now? I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, so maybe not. Maybe you're craving the things you've cut out.
We haven't eaten, we typically have tortillas pretty often with our meals. Not that I crave it, but we haven't, I don't know about you,
Oh yeah.
but I haven't really eaten any bread, like really any breads or anything like that. And I haven't noticed it. Like in the past, say if I was doing like a keto diet, I would be thinking about bread a couple days in just solely because I couldn't have it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting. I cut out French fries years ago, and I used to love. I would always get them special ordered, extra crispy, and I missed them terribly at first. But now the thought of French fries doesn't appeal to me at all. It just makes me feel like, oh, I don't want to feel bloated. I'm not interested. Anyway, if y'all had a chance to look through some of the lessons this week on goal setting, there's some really heady stuff in there. Have you filled in any blanks there that you want to share with us?
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, we're just being honest. We've had a hell of a week.
I'll tell you this. I haven't looked at it. I have barely had any time this week.
Okay. Well, and that kind of brings me to my next line of questioning or line of discussion, and that is this is our third bod squad, but this is by far the most complicated one to see through because we're barreling into an entire week that's devoted to
Indulgence.
your food heirlooms, the things that your family are most handed down through the generations, the best pies and the best green bean casserole recipes and all that stuff.
He's amazing.
And so and then the holiday parties and being surrounded by stuff that you wouldn't normally see around the house and around the office and everything else. So it's not just the challenges, but it's also the distractions of being, you're in the holiday period. We're entering into it next week. I can't even believe Tracy told me yesterday, next week's Thanksgiving. What are you thinking? I said, what do you mean? No way next week is Thanksgiving. It's just hard to plan. It's hard to stay up with all this stuff. But anyway, so we're barreling into Thanksgiving, then we do all the holiday shopping, and then we're on the road more, we're doing stuff out of the house more, we've got more people over, or we're going to people's houses, surrounded by all these different things. And on top of all that, we're supposed to be meal prepping and doing it. Really? Does that make sense? Well, you guys are kind of the test case for whether it makes sense to do this time of year or not. And how I want to frame this is that there's some little things, and you'll read some of this in the lessons next week. There are some little things that you can apply in the context of what's going on next week, and maybe get some benefit out of it. And I'll just read some of the things that come to mind first, looking over the lessons next week, and also thinking about the bod squad and what we're trying to do and what next week might, how it might get in the way. First of all, if you guys are responsible for any particular items or menu items or whatnot, then maybe you could just take a quick glance at the things and say, okay, you know, I could do this slightly differently instead of using, and I'm just making this up off the top of my head, but instead of using cream of mushroom soup for this particular recipe, I might be able to make it, you know, make it from scratch. Or you know, instead of having the store-bought pie crust, I could do, you know, some version that just has, you know, it's applying some lesson that we've learned about using, let's say, using real butter instead of using Crisco oil. You know, just weird things like that. But maybe simple things. Mary, do you have an example? Help me out here. I'm trying to articulate.
Well, when if you need to take vegetables, you can just basically still either roast or steam your vegetables, but then also just fry up some bacon and toss it with bacon, and that's really good. And
Yeah.
nuts, you can always add nuts and bacon to your vegetables instead of making a casserole.
So
And
instead
they're
of
it's
putting,
really
yeah, instead of putting those fried onion things that you get in a can on top of the green bean casserole, you could just fry up some bacon and put it on top or something.
right. Or instead of making a green bean casserole, you know, just
Yeah.
have do your green beans and then add bacon and slivered almonds to them. And it's
So
really
not,
tasty.
so not to overcomplicate things, but there might be a few simple little wins that we could all do to kind of ease the dinner table in the direction that helps everybody out. The other idea is to just, and this is something I started doing a few years ago. I used to absolutely make a blood sport out of filling my plate at Thanksgiving and then eating the whole plate of food and then filling it again at the same seating and eating it completely again, and then finding a way to fit in at least a small slice of every single dessert that was represented at the table. That's usually.
So we're not supposed to do that?
Well, here's a suggestion. Instead of doing it the way we used to do it, you could just do it. You could still have a taste of everything, but make it a ridiculously small portion.
Taste. Literally.
So it's like you get everything on your plate, which is really cool at Thanksgiving. You get a little taste of everything. But if somebody brought that marshmallow stuff, I don't even know what that stuff's called, but it's like it's got what?
Sweet potato. It's at least I've always seen it. It's a sweet potato dish with marshmallows on top.
Yeah, it's like half marshmallows.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting.
And the sweet potatoes are filled with like butter and sugar and more
Yeah.
sugar.
So have your scoop of that, but make it like maybe last year you had a full scoop and maybe this year you just have a partial scoop on the plate. So you still get your full plate of food, but everything is just kind of portion controlled without talking about it, you know, because you guys are sitting there and Aaron and Tim, you're sitting there, there's at least the two of you. And so you're mutually supportive. And then Kevin had Rebecca and the boys all together on the program. And so they were all mutually supportive, but none of them had, oh, I see Rebecca, I see Elbow.
No, that's Aiden.
Oh, Aiden. Hey, Aiden, yeah. All I see is a giant bicep, yeah. Okay. Anyway, the boys participated and supported it, and it made it easier. But now y'all are going to be surrounded by people that have no idea what you're doing and really don't want to talk about it. And so another suggestion would be don't bring any of this up. Just do the things without talking about it. Mm-hmm. I think you'll be much better off. Then the last thing is if you're hosting, make it convenient for people to take stuff home. Like you got baggies or you got Tupperware or whatever, but try to get rid of all the. I know for me, if there's you know half a cake and 3 pies sitting on the counter after Thanksgiving because we hosted and it's there all weekend, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and into the next week, I will devour all of it, and as I need to, I will scrape off the mold to keep devouring it. So maybe instead of doing that, if you guys are hosting, then make sure everybody leaves with a little door prize, like a big chunk of this and that, and just slough it off on everybody else. So here's my last thought. On Thanksgiving or the following days of Thanksgiving weekend, if you do anything that's especially heinous in the context of the Bod Squad, please take a picture and put it on community, because we're all going to laugh and we're all going to say, yeah, me too. You know, it's going to be fun. So if you do anything that's really like, yeah, look at this, I bet you Mike would really have a
Like,
problem with that
don't
one. Yeah. So send me a picture so I can say something about it, so I can have some fun too. Or you know what I'll do is I'll send you another photo that's an even bigger piece of cake or something. So, and remember, Kevin, the adage that Kevin and I have drifted towards is the first bite's always the best bite. So
That's exactly what I'm.
enjoy that and maybe just
envisioning.
put one bite on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm envisioning a single plate with a small portion of everything. Every, every piece of pie, every dish that's out there. But my favorite thing to use, and I've always got one in the kitchen. I've actually got two of them because one of them's always in the dishwasher. Is a one of those quarter cup measuring cups, because just about anything that you can fit in there counts as a point.
Ah,
And then all you got to do is that's a carb point, that kind of stuff. And so there's never going to be more than four carb dishes. I always come up a little bit light on those anyway. And then, I said, if I'm going to cheat, it's going to be toward the protein. That's where I've always cheated. So
Yeah, you get fun with that. I'm just been gluttony.
you can go be a glutton.
Oh yeah, I am.
Oreo storage unit.
Oh hell yeah. Oh soup.
okay. All right, guys. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else have anything? Oh, by the way, our next Zoom meeting, our next scheduled Zoom meeting
Bless you.
is not going to be next Thursday because we're all going to be busy. So we'll meet again on the following Thursday. But I'll be at the gym Monday through Thursday. Actually, Friday, and I don't think I'm going out of town. So I'll be at the gym, and I'm always available. You guys we can text back and forth if you have any things going on that you want me to be a part of. So we're definitely in contact still. And I still want to meet with all of y'all individually next week when you're in the gym. Anybody, by the way, that has missed any classes this week, I will allow you to make them up. In fact, over the next 2 weeks, in fact, through the entire rest of the Bod Squad, if a week is screwed up and you're not getting your 3 workouts in and you make them up, I'll credit them back to the weeks that were missing spots so you can get your points. So just to keep it a clean record. So I know it's a crazy time, but we'll do that. We'll spread that out and make sure everybody gets what they want.
Sounds good.
All right. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, guys. I'll see you, most of y'all, tomorrow morning, and hopefully y'all can all make it tomorrow night. I know Mary can't, but we're gonna have some fun. And whatever happens tomorrow night is off the record, because we are bringing, whoever's interested is going to be bringing their family heirloom margaritas, and we're having a margarita tasting contest. The winning team gets bragging rights, at least.
A tasting contest?
Yes,
Oh,
a margarita taste off.
Oh,
Okay, I'm sorry, little Timmy, you did need to be sitting right there at that moment, but okay.
you just wanted to say hi. It's okay.
Hi. Oh
Hey,
yeah, by the way, Big Tim ate some ice cream before this.
Oh
all right, all right.
He had fun. You need to get out.
Little
You
bitty,
need to get
a
out.
little.
Okay, you have a little drone flying around your house.
For you.
I think it's your bedtime.
Yeah,
Go
There
away.
you go, Timmy. Good job.
it was my fat. All right.
Sure was.
Yeah, it is.
I will tell you, it was like the teeniest bite.
I
What
know,
a dickhead.
What a douchebag. Hey.
Okay, guys, see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
Hope you
bye-bye.
feel better.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.